Okay. Welcome to the internet's best cryptocurrency and finance show. Today, we're going to be talking about Iran, PPI, Nvidia, secret things about the S&P 500 that a lot of people are not understanding. And on top of that, I'm going to be talking about factors of Bitcoin and a few other things. And in fact, by the end of this show, I'm going to give you an opportunity to come and have a look at exactly what my plan is, because it's not what everyone thinks it is. Everyone thinks it's going to go down. Just wait and see. There could be a possibility that they could be just tricking you out of the market. So let's have a quick look through. We'll go through. Let me just notify the peeps on the Discord as well. If you haven't joined, you definitely should do it. It's free. Of course, there are bits that are extra, but most of it is free. In fact, almost all the important things are free. If anyone else wants to get any more detailed, it is the cost of Netflix. Right. Now, this is the interesting one. I didn't steal a sweater. Iran. What is actually happening in the Middle East right now? What is going on? There seems to be a complete mismatch of what is the reality of what's happening, what is being said, and there is a clear what is going on at this present moment. Because if we look at some of the key information at the moment, press is talking about how things are going well. There is conversations happening, there's negotiations happening, but at the same time, get this out. But at the same time, we're also in a scenario where this right now, if you look at it very, very cleanly, is the resources that they're sending over to that area, right? This is hundreds of millions of dollars worth of costs to send the stuff there. They are ready. USA is ready. They are ready to get this thing moving forward, and they are waiting right now. They are fully waiting to see what's going to happen, and supposedly, things are going well. However, if we need to go through some interesting things, it seems to not match with what some other countries, including USA, are saying. Because if we look at the foreign minister to Israel, it looks like they have sent out an email, and more importantly, a press release that is, well, not really a press release, but a statement saying that only high-level officials and only those who are really, really important should stay in the country. Everyone else should leave. On top of that, we're also sitting in a scenario where we have, China saying interesting things about how everyone who is Chinese should leave out of the market completely in every single way. Like, you have 24 hours to leave. So the question we have here, and this is the question that's on everyone else's minds, is America going to go in this weekend? Is America going to go in this weekend? That's the question that everyone is asking each other. Is America going to go in? I don't know. In fact, that's a very good question. Let me ask you guys. Is America going to go in? I would say if you're sending hundreds of millions of dollars worth of stuff, and on top of that, we have all the officials saying get out of the country and leave and do all this kind of stuff. It to me, it's looking like they're getting ready. Doesn't mean that if they're definitely going to go in. It just means that it looks like they are ready at a point. Whether this is some sort of negotiation tactic or not, who knows? But it looks like there is a chance that they could definitely go in. Hello, Master, how you doing? That could be a bit of a problem. Now, this is also, tactic 101 with the Trump Meister. Because he is a person that likes to push the envelope and then do a deal once he has squeezed the bolt a little bit on them. But who knows what's going to happen? One area that gives me a thought right now, and I want to say this in the best possible way. What makes me think that they're definitely going to go in here? Isn't always a big increase of stock on crypto? Why is this? But no. When they go in, the initial shock will be a downside pressure. But that may not be a bad thing, right? That may not be a bad thing. That's why I'm saying wait to the end. I'm going to show you my exact plan of what I think is going to happen. I'm going to give you the way to see that. It's really, really important. Now, the reason why I think they might go in this weekend, and then I don't want to say like it's my sort of, you know, my tinfoil hat going on here, but apparently things are going so well that on Monday they're going to be having talks in Vienna, and it's very suspiciously that things went very bad up until Friday, but now Monday. It's on Monday that they're going to have talks in Vienna, and that is what's going to happen, and it's going to be amazing. And they're definitely not going to do anything this weekend. Trust me, bruh, definitely. It's just a precaution that we're evacuating everyone. Evening Hours, loving the new group. Get involved, folks. Thank you so much, Tuti. It's such an amazing place. Honestly, the community that we have, I was talking with KB the other day, and we were like, it's such an amazing group. Everyone is there just to help and just grow, and that's such a cool thing, right? And it's free. It's up to you guys. Now, I'm not gonna say that this everything's gonna be fine, bruh. Don't worry, we're talking on Monday. It's gonna be all good. It's gonna be all good. Everything is gonna be fine. We're just evacuating everyone, and China's saying evacuate everyone, and there are other leaders saying evacuate everyone for precautions, because that's a you know a thing that we would do anyway, no matter what. Not a problem. It's not an issue. Don't think it's anything problem like that. Just listen to the news. Should we say everything before Iran? I can't give you that advice, but I'll say this. If you wait to the end, I'm going to explain to you why I think this could be potentially a once in a lifetime opportunity. Genuinely. If Trump says he's going in 2 weeks, he's definitely going next day. Yeah, I know, right? No, they're not going in next day. They're having talks on Monday, because last time when they were because last time when Iran went to talks in a neutral country with another country, it was perfectly neutral. It was just conversations. Nothing bad happened. It wasn't like there was any type of bad faith. Everything was good. Yeah, I think that's a definite chance that that's going to happen. Now, if that goes through, expect the market to react. I will say this, and I mean it in this way. There's a big difference between countries neighboring Iran having a little tiff and a big all-out conflict with America. Now, when was the last time? Do you not remember when was the last time? I don't want to talk about it because it's a very touchy subject, but it was, you know, negotiations with a neighboring country, and that didn't go so well. So I'm gonna say anyway, whatever. Yeah, so we'll see. Expect that there's going to be a reaction to it. The markets will react. It's a completely different. Yeah, it's a completely. I can't read that, man. Happy app, but I appreciate you writing. It's going to be a completely different type of kettle of fish, because Iran will be fighting for its survival, and when you push leaders that are used to ultimate control over a country, and get it to a point where you know they're about to lose everything, that's when they're at their most dangerous. And their most dangerous will mean them attacking areas in the Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz, where 35% of the world's oil and natural gas goes through, and it will be a absolute maximum worldwide recession and inflation. So if that is worth it to America, We'll see. But knowing Trump, I'm not too sure. I think there could be some sort of like show of strength and, do something or other and then come to the table and sort something out. So I think it's going to be in between kind of whatever type of situation. Either way, if it's over the weekend, there's going to be some reaction. I think may not be too much of a reaction over the weekend. Monday, there will be definitely a reaction, but we'll see what happens on that side. Now, we get to more worrying news, right? We're going to get to some more worrying news, and that's more about what high impact information came out today, right? We saw PPI numbers not very well, right? This is a serious worry now, because I will say it in the clearest possible formation, right? Iran don't want to show weakness, but they know they're against you. There's no. It's just like I know that people want to think that Iran has a chance against America, and I know a lot of people are from there, and there's a lot of tensions between America and everything else. But I will say this: I see no way that if this goes out into full blown whatever it is, it's gonna be messy. But America's ability is, they can do a lot, right? They're not like other countries. They could really. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. It's not the nicest conversation. I don't like conflict in any way whatsoever, right? Now, if we look at the information, and I'll just throw this up onto the screen. I'm going to be somewhat quick today because I am really tired. I don't know what it is. I think I'm coming down with something, but I'm going to put all this data up here so we can have a frank conversation about what is going on at this present moment, right? PPI numbers going up in this situation, especially core, right? Going up at such an aggressive way, right? In a nice way, Iran will understand what bear market means. I mean, I think the world will understand it. It's not just a singular country. Where they are and what they have access to will cause the world to feel it. It's not like a localized thing. That's why markets will react aggressively if there's something like that happens. They're not like anything else that you can imagine, right? Now, if we look at PPI at this present moment, right, inflation is rising, and it's rising at an accelerating pace. It's increasing faster and faster and faster. It's on an upward trend, and it doesn't look like it's going to change. And if America goes into Iran, it's going to accelerate at an astronomical pace. At the same time, we're looking at key factors where unemployment numbers are at amazing levels. It's on a downward trend. So what is if you look at the numbers as we look, and if we look at trying to understand what that means, if we try to see if inflation is going up and unemployment is going down, the Fed has a dual mandate, right? And the dual mandate is very clear. The dual mandate is low inflation and low unemployment, right? If we have low unemployment but high inflation, they will not cut. They are not going to cut in this market, and if they because of what's going on, they're not going to exacerbate inflation. And you can see that in the Fed watch, where 96.1% is basically it's like 100%, right? When you start getting into those numbers, you're getting into crazy levels. We'll see. It would have to be some form of real stress that hits the market for this to really cause the Fed to pivot. And I think the pivot is going to go into an area where if this inflationary movement starts going up, they might actually hike interest rates. Now, whether the market will see that as a bad thing, I'm going to tend towards a yes, because the market is strained on liquidity, and more importantly, it's strained on various institutions needing liquidity. And if the rates go up, it's going to cause a massive stress on the economy, and it will cause the S&P 500 and various other factors to really go down. So if you're thinking about rate cuts happening, I just don't see that happening at this present moment. Not with these numbers going on, and with the effects happening. And now this is the thing that I want to also explain, right? This is the thing I also want to explain. What we're seeing now is the effects of tariffs and uncertainty. Markets have a period of time usually around the 6-month period, right? Roughly 6 to 8 month period where inflationary effects of policy actually are seen in the market. So all these previous things that you're seeing is actually the benefits of higher interest rates for such a longer period of time, right? And that's the thing, right? That's the way to understand. Is Trump's puppet not going to cut? No, it doesn't work that way. Not especially not him. He is a hawk. He will do whatever it takes to bring down inflation. And inflation is going up. He's going to do it. It's not going to be a puppet. Once he's in, Trump has no control over him. None. Zero. And besides, it's not a singular type of thing. The Fed chair doesn't decide on whether they cut or not. He's not the deciding factor. It's a committee. And the committee that's in now, including, I just want to say, Powell's going to still be on that committee. I want everyone to really be sure of that. By the way, can I get some likes and everything else like that? It means a lot. It helps with the algorithm. Anyone on the tube, make sure you follow that as well. If anyone wants to see my screen, they can go here. It's only on the tube today. It's the most important thing. It's not on anywhere else. I want to focus on the tube. So if you want to go there, check it out there. You can watch it there and see my screen, right? Now, if Trump's new Fed hikes no, I don't think he's got no choice in the matter, right? Now, gold is going to go up no matter what. Gold has now surpassed the dollar as the reserve currency. The world is not looking at the dollar as a reserve currency anymore. They're looking at gold, right? Gold is something that they know is not volatile in a way that now the dollar has become, right? It's used as a weapon now, and countries that are looking to go into things that can't be utilized in that manner. Now, if this is going to be the situation, we're not going to say cuts, so it's going to cause strain on the economy. It's going to go strain on all the companies. It's going to go strain all over the manner. It's going to cause effects on the housing market. It'll probably depress housing prices. That's for sure, because even though that the amount of sellers now surpass buyers because of what it is, if there is an interest rate hike, it will be absolutely catastrophic for all those things. And what's the real worry? And this is the real worry. A lot of people are not really gathering or leaning onto, right? Is that there's mid-market lenders and mid-market investors that rely on liquidity, rely on debt. The people that utilize those overnight repo rates, right? Repo lending. Those people are going to be at a point where it could be a snowballing event. We have to see what's going to happen. Now, we get on to the biggest news of this week, right? We get on to Nvidia earnings. Nvidia did something I could not believe. By the way, are you guys liking? If you guys like what I'm doing, please press the like, please press the comments and all that kind of stuff. I want to get this to at least like 20, 30,000 likes, and then we can go from there. Once we get to 15, I'll take answers, right? Every 10,000 likes, I will answer questions if that's one. Hello, Bull. Hello, 123 DJ Sport. Also, I looked at my analytics, right? I get 1,500 views on this live and on this show and on the tube and everything else. And like 10% of you subscribe to me, which is wild, all right? It's just it doesn't cost you anything. It's free to do. And you can get all of this and be access to all this free alpha that I'm giving to all of you guys, right? Now, let's get on to Nvidia. And something incredible happened with Nvidia, right? We saw it's to such a point where they don't only surpass their earnings, right? They don't only surpass their earnings, they beat them like you would not believe. They absolutely smashed it out of the park. Everything was incredible. And in the result of that, it was the stock went down 5.5%. And it makes you ask this question. Why is the stock down? Why is the stock that is weighted as the darling child stock, the one that is pushing the S&P 500, which is the most valuable company in the world, the most incredible company in the world, why is it down? Why? The market is down. Nvidia is down because it's getting to a point where investors are asking this very key question. How much more can this go? how much more can this somewhat, and I'm going to say it, right? And people are not going to like what I'm going to say, lucky company that is the byproduct of AI that has now become the most valuable, powerful company in the world that still is beating earnings by. It's got to such a stage that if it matches expectations, it's actually worse than beating it to the level it is. It's the need for what it is to earn is beyond anything else. And the question is this: we are, how can I say this? We are getting into areas that's giving bubble vibes because there is enormous investment, money on a level that cannot be explained. People are spending hundreds of billions, trillions on dollars of compute, but none of these companies are making profit. If you look at ChatGPT right now, each single search is a loss for ChatGPT. It's a loss. They're making 50 cents loss on every single search. That's hundreds of millions of dollars a year that they're just spending. So it gets to a point as an investor, and you're thinking, they're not making money. They're spending unbelievable amounts of money. And the company that's making all that money for companies that are making zero money is now beating earnings constantly. And there's going to be a point where I'm assuming that there's going to be some level of money not available to these AI companies and compute companies they're going to have to cut down on one thing, and that could possibly be AI, right? Do you understand what I mean? And that's why the stock went down, because it's like, how much more can this thing go? There's going to be a point where this ends. Now, if the Nvidia goes down, everything goes down. And I want to be clear about this, and I want it to be very, very clear in people's minds. If Nvidia starts to show weakness, this stock here is your yardstick. It is the canary in the gold mine. It is the alarm bell. It is everything. If this starts to show reduced earnings, an actual slowing down pace of earnings, it is time for the S&P 500 to retrace, to get to a point where it needs a correction. Badger, why do you saying it's not happening? Do you think that Nvidia's earnings are going to go up forever? See, that's the question I want to ask everyone. In what way can earnings go up forever? And this is the thing. AI, I would believe, is at the beginning of a bubble. Don't get me wrong. I think AI is the future. I think the ability for it to cause change and for it to increase efficiency, profits, all that stuff in the future. But there is going to be what is necessarily to understand a movement, right? If this is going to be a healthy market, it can't just be up. It can't just be up, right? There is going to be an area where a correction is needed for its healthy progression forward. But the thing is, right? And now I'm going to show you something that I promise you, no one else would even get close to a point that will explain this to you, right? I would be shocked if anyone has even talked or showed this thing to you. And this is here. It's here. As gaming is peaking next year, Nvidia could do more numbers after that. It might go downhill. I don't think so. I think gaming's gotten its gaming aspect is the tiniest effect of it. It's all about compute. They already filled their orders for this year. Yeah. Now, I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to explain it to you. Now, you're going to have to listen to this properly, right? Because it's more complicated than you think, right? I'm going to show you this graph, right? And I'm going to explain this to you right now. This graph shows you 1 second. Where are we here? Oh no, I didn't even start it. Okay, that's annoying. This graph shows you the median adjusted value of each stock, right? And if you want to understand that, it's basically weighting each stock, the value of each stock equally. And so you look at it as if, you know, Nvidia was the same as another stock. And there is a number that comes out when you weight it equally. And it's the ratio of the top earners, the ones that actually push the S&P 500, and the ones that are actually struggling at the bottom. And as of this month, there has been a very interesting shift. And this interesting shift is getting to the numbers of when we had the dot-com bubble. This graph here is showing this. And what it's trying to explain to you is that the weighted average of the larger stocks, such as Nvidia, Facebook, Microsoft, all those things are showing a negative 0.6 skew, which means is that they are, in relation to other stocks, less valuable stocks, right, are underperforming, right? They're underperforming against the other stocks in the S&P 500. And I want to say this. The last time this type of underperforming happened, within the next 3 months, 3 to 4, can't be described, the S&P 500 had a large and sharp correction. And you need to understand that this is comparable to the dot-com bubble bursting. And what is really important to understand is that there are similarities. A lot of people will say, oh, the dot-com was all speculative, there is no earnings. Yes, AI, it's not as speculative as that, but these companies are not making money. They're not making money at the moment, and they're just spending money. And their weighted average earnings in relation to the other stocks, it's falling. And that ratio between the two points towards why you think that markets are now not caring about Nvidia earning, because they're seeing the other side, the light at the end of the wood, right? With all this noise that's happening, they're seeing what is happening, and there is going to be a point where this is going to crumble. Not crumble in the way that it'll be a black swan event, but enough that the market corrects, right? Enough that the market corrects to be a healthy move back up. Now, why I'm so excited about this, and I want this to be very clear with everyone that's going here. Why I'm so excited, right? I'm keeping my Nvidia. You can keep it, of course. I'm not saying that it's going to go to zero. I'm just saying a correction is warranted. It's like the time when I said a correction in silver is warranted, and everyone called me crazy. People were messaging me saying, "Bruh, you don't earn it. That's why you're talking that way. Stop jinxing the stock." I'm like, okay, all right, man. Now, these type of corrections that happen, are genuinely, and I mean this in the best way possible. They're not corrections in the manner, how can I say? They're not corrections in the manner of an event like tariffs here, right? These corrections are business cycle corrections. These corrections are moments in time that if you can get it right and actually time it and understand and be ready. Everyone here who is watching this right now, everyone who's going to rewatch it afterwards on the tube. If you want to see my screen, it's here. Everyone that is here is in a unique scenario where they will most probably witness this moment, right? There are people that will not see this type of thing in their lifetime. And we're in a unique scenario where we could potentially see that, right? And if we do see that, your entry, it will be life-changing. Because you need to understand, a lot of people think Yet correct this invention, I think, for this moment, and now building background for new services. Yeah. If we think of what we're going through at this present moment, right, is that a correction is a lifetime opportunity, because these things are not going to zero. They're just on a Black Friday sale. All of these stocks are profit generating, future multi-trillion-dollar companies. AI is the future. AI is going to do everything. It's just there is a point in between where there will be growing pains. And at that moment of the growing pain is where you want to be in this. Not when it's trying to grow, but when it's actually growing. And that retrace is going to be the moment where you can actually get that moving forward. Just wanted to be clear so people can really, really gather what is going on at this moment in time. Now, let's get on to some interesting stuff, right? Let's get on to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and various other things. We might be in a historic event. Now, this historic event is not good. I'm not gonna lie, but could potentially be very good. I just don't see it happening, right? There has never been a January and February month that's been read consecutively, ever in Bitcoin. The problem is, to get to that number, right? If we were to look at this, no, I don't want to do that one. It's the wrong one. To get to that number, to get to a positive month close, we would need to, let's just make this clear. We would need to do a 20% move. Now, I'm not saying it's not out of the realm of reality, but Brev, a 20% move in, what is this? 20% move in a day might be expecting a bit much. That might be expecting that might be expecting a little bit too much, right? A little bit too much. Now, there is a good question, right? You're saying alts are going to, I don't think alts are going to go to zero. You just have to be very picky which alts and what you're looking at. At this present moment, if you want to be relatively, how can I say? The stocks you should be really looking at are the tier one stocks at the moment, right? And coins and everything else. So things like ETH and Sol and Bitcoin. Those are the things you should be playing around with. And at this present moment right now, if you want to have an access to the market and to understand how the markets roll and ebb and edge and do all the things that you need to do, you need to be in it to actually learn, right? And that is why, and this is a shameless plug, you go and check out the Alpha Hunters. It's in the links below. You'll see it there. It's free. It's a great community. Everyone's there to help you out. If you have any questions, which I promise you in this whole market, finding something on that level where people will just answer you and help you out, and I'm there all the time, is a place that you should really, really definitely understand. Netflix is running. Of course, Netflix is running because everyone's at home just going, you know what? You know what? I just don't care anymore. On that note, on that very interesting note, you know how I was saying the other day that I'm getting a bit upset with Mr. Ribbons. What was his name? What was Mr. Ribbons' name? What was the Ribbons guy's name? I'll come back to the Iran situation. We'll talk about that in a second. Again, even though I talked about it, we're going to go back to it. I just want to show you guys something, right? What was the Ribbon guy's name? I've got his name now. I keep forgetting his name. Hill person. Calvin Hill, right? You know, Calvin Hill always says, I trade with a small balance of 50,000, right? I trade with a small balance of 50,000. You know what? From today, from today, and I'm going to show this to you guys straight here. I'm just making sure that there's nothing here that can say anything here. No, right? I am going to be trading with a small balance, and I mean a small balance. I've just put a balance so you guys can understand. If you want to follow all of what I'm going to be doing, go and check out the Alpha Hunters group. I am going to be trading with a small balance of $30,000, right? I put $30,000 into my WeX account, and I'm going to be trading that. On top of that, also on the Alpha Hunters group, this weekend, copy trading is coming. So it's up to you guys. If you want to trade alongside with someone with a small balance, right? Small balance of $30,000, right? Small balance. I'm not going to be doing too much. Don't want to leave that there too much. I'm going to be trading with $30,000, and I'll see where I can bring that to. I'm hoping to, see if I can bring that to about 500,000. We'll see what happens. If I get to 500,000, I'll do a massive giveaway to all of you guys. 50,000 is all subjected to a person's net worth. For some, it's huge. Others, it's pocket change. Yes. For Alvin Hill, what are you doing? He spends that in socks. He was like, you know what? Whatever. For someone who trades both ways, it makes me very, very happy that guy is doing well. Now, what are we doing? Where are we going with the market at this present moment, right? I think there's still a little bit of downside to go, a little bit. But I don't think too much. Now, the only outlier that we have at the moment is Iran. Genuinely. I don't even think the market will care too much about rate hikes. I think it might see it as a positive. Markets may think that. Because you need to understand, if the Fed is doing what it needs to do to save the market and help with inflation and go do things against what will affect the debt, I think it might see it as a positive. The only negative we could see here is if America does something silly with Iran. Now, I'll say this, and I'll say this very, very clearly, right? The only thing of this conflict, the only outcome that will cause an effect in the market aggressively is if it's a prolonged, boots on the ground offensive. If this just turns into a couple of, I can't say the word, and then let's go talk, the markets will rally. Don't think of what's happening in Iran as a binary effect. It's not a binary move that's going to be happening. It's nuanced because the market cares about this, right? The market cares about this. The market only cares about whether what is happening is going to affect costs, inflation, or the actual bottom line of companies. And the only thing that will do that, is a prolonged conflict, a guerrilla war type of conflict where Iran's proxies or various other things start to affect oil, shipping lanes, and the whole things like that. So other than that, I see that there is a real chance, and I mean a real chance, that we could see somewhat of a rally. I know it sounds insane. I know what I'm saying sounds insane, and the people in the Alpha Hunters have seen what my plan is. I put the plan in this morning. You should go there and check out the plan that I put, and everyone here is going to get a chance to get a look at that as well. I think something on that level could really happen. And I'll say this, right? This is partly because of one reason. It's one reason and one reason only. And if I'm going to tell you that reason, you need to get me to like 20,000 likes. Otherwise, I'm not saying. I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait. You guys going to do it? You going to press the like button? No? You're not going to do it? You guys going to leave? You don't want to press that like button? I'm seeing only one heart, bruv. There's one reason why. And it's very, how can I say? Yeah, I'll get me to 20,000 and I'll do that. Am I begging you guys for likes? Huh? Is that all right? Do I have to do this for you guys to get this free alpha? Also, in the meantime, let me just write this thing. All right. The main reason, I'm just going to tell you, because you guys are very kind. Oh, wow, I'm getting to 20,000. Oh, when you guys want to, you can get me to 20,000 likes. Wow, very kind. You just don't want to press it. You know. The main reason why I think this is going to happen is because of Jane Street. I think the real reason why we've been seeing such downward pressure when other markets have been doing so well is because of the shady things that Jane Street have done. Because it's been causing artificial downward pressure into the market. And if we think about it this way, right, with positive catalysts coming in the future, if we're looking at inflation adjusted moves, Bitcoin is highly undervalued. I mean, it's trading below its electricity cost at this present moment. You know what I mean? Selling at 10 o'clock every, yeah. And also, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna zoom out, right? It's been a while since I've zoomed out. Let's have a little zoom out, right? I'm gonna have a bit of a zoom out. Let's have a zoom out. Let's have a zoom out. I'm gonna try and say in a way that you guys will understand at the very end of the show what I'm gonna explain to you. On USDT dominance right now, we have come and rejected. What's up with your AI 15-year younger profile pic? What? No, that's just how I look. I've just gained a lot of weight. What's up with my AI? Honestly, it's almost to the point. It's almost to the point that people will come to my live to just say stuff because is it out of jealousy? Is it out of just people just like trying to find a reason to say something like that? It's almost like they have nothing else better to do and do it like that. Like you, what is, I can't understand that. Is going down. People are scared because they can flip this switch at any time. Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Market makers run this thing, this market. Now, if we look at the USDT dominance chart, right? If we look at this thing and we try to understand where this is going, and this is a thing that we have rejected. And then how many years is this? 1 second. We've rejected off an insanely strong area of resistance on USDT dominance. And for people to understand the correlation, for people who are new and want to know what this is, USDT dominance is the percentage of the market that's in stables, which is in USDT. Now, we're seeing this cone move happening in the larger scale, right? We're looking on the weekly. Let's even go to the monthly. Are we in the monthly? Yeah, even in the monthly, right? We're seeing this cone move happening. Now, this cone is happening because the market is increasing, right? The market is becoming a larger entity. It's not like what it used to be, the smallest move. These moves were getting larger and larger and larger. But we are at an extremely strong resistance point right now. And what's important is that we've rejected from it. Now, because we've rejected from it, and we're on the weekly chart right now, because it's a bit cleaner, there is a real chance that we could see a retrace to an area that I always say, right? An area that I always describe everyone. where these type of movements can go. Now, if we were to look at that number, that is a big move. And I'm talking big move. I'm talking 100K plus move. Now we need to see confirmation of that, because we've had one rejection. Now we've had the second rejection. Now, if we don't see a follow through and this continuation down, which is a chance that we could have for sure, we need a weekly close. We need a negative, in USDT understanding, 1 weekly negative close, and so in that sense a bullish close on the S&P on the USDT market cap, and that could indicate of a real local bottom. And I will say this as well, and I just want this to be clear as well, right? The reason why, and I'm not gonna do too much of a longer thing, and I hope you guys are enjoying what I'm saying. If you guys like it, please press the like button. I don't want anything from you guys. I mean, I'm sure you guys could really look at my what I'm doing and the time and everything I'm doing here and see how much alpha I'm giving for free, right? There are two further things on this graph that, by the way, I saw a big creator. What was the guy with the beard? What was that guy with the beard? What was his name? The really famous one. What was that guy with the beard? What is it called? All I want from you guys is to like me and then join the Alpha Hunters group. That's it. It's free. What more do you want? Coach JV. Coach JV. Coach JV, I'm almost certain, saw my video on YouTube. I'm almost 100% certain, because he used the exact same graphs and the exact same thing that I said. I could not believe it. I could not believe it that he did that. But anyway, that's another thing, right? There's two further things on this graph, which, right? You know that dude, fantastic. Get me in touch. I'd love to do a live with him. Maybe when I get my account back. Honestly, let me know. That this shows. One, actually three things. One, short term, medium term, and long term, that you guys should be super duper excited about. Super duper excited about, right? Short term, we need 1 weekly negative close, right? 1 weekly negative close. And this could start a potential retrace back to an area which usually happens from a larger move, right? Secondly, unfortunately, I would not be surprised if this thing doesn't tap the higher levels, 13%. I still believe that there is a chance that we could do something like this. And I want this to be clear. I don't want it to be all like, you know, roses and petals and this and the other, right? Where it could come down, go up, find support, and then reach up to whatever these levels here. Huge levels. Look like the market is completely wrecked to levels. And I gave those levels in the previous video. You need to watch that, and I'll explain that to you. Or come to the Alpha Hunters and I'll put it in there, right? The really good long-term news, right? Really good long-term news. And let's see if I can find this symbol. Is that the symbol? No, I don't know what that means. I don't know what magnet mode is. Where's the... I'm just going to draw it. Really good news. I'm going to draw it here, right? I'm going to draw it here. Right? What's that? What is that? What does that look like? I want people to answer me what that looks like. By the way, anyone here wants to see it can go here. You can see my screen and follow and press the bell button and everything else. What's that? What's that, Briff? Is my drawing that bad, man? Is my drawing that bad? Yeah, it's a magnet. This level has been hit for the past 80 years. 8 years this level has been hit, right? 8 years. So what do you think? What do you think a retrace from here down to here will do to this market? What do you think that will do? Ask yourself that question. You need to ask yourself that question. There is no such thing as a forever down. There's no such thing as a forever up. And you need to understand this and look at it at larger time frames. For people who think that this market's over, for people who think it's a scam, for people who say that are retail that go in speculatively and don't stay to learn and understand how this market moves. And everyone here who's following, who's learning, who, to be honest, has is looking at you know, someone like this who's just showing you. I'm just showing you screenshots here. I'm just showing you here, right? These are things that you can do yourself. Copy it. It's here, right in front of you. Just draw these lines and understand and respect what they are. Now, there's a short-term move that I am expecting that we could potentially see. Who knows? I mean, these are on the weekly, so these could take some time, right? But Long King, just be careful, right? These are very long-term moves I'm talking about. This type of move that we see here, it needs a pullback. But it will be it definitely will be. It definitely will be. It also reminds you of the time where people said the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Here, here, and here. And what's really interesting about this, right, is that this market is a pure representation of 2018. Pure. Non-euphoric high move. End of a business cycle. Highly overheated S&P 500. And then what we saw afterwards was the biggest, most spectacularly insane cryptocurrency bull run you've ever seen in your life. And it not just Bitcoin, everything went crazy. You know, as if people believe in cycles and believe in things on this nature, right? You need to understand that cycles can go both ways. It's not like it's cycle, it's over, everything's over, it'll never come back. But you need to have the ability to see it before everyone's talking about it. Because if everyone's talking about it, it's probably the end already. It's the same thing when people are saying it's over, right? Everyone's saying it's over. Now it gets to a point, I want to get into your trading room, please. It's on my link. It's on my link on my channel at the bottom. You'll see. You go to the link and there's a link there. You guys can see it. The big question now, when do you see this unfolding? I would say this. Where I see this big move happening, and when I see this is going to go through, will be revealed in the Alpha Hunters group. That's where it's going to be revealed. On the weekend, I will tell everyone my thoughts on when I think this will happen. Because I ain't giving you everything for free, guys. All right, I ain't giving you everything for free. You know what I mean. And look. And the funny thing is, right? The funny thing is about the group is that I just genuinely want people to be there so we can have a really cool community. That's it. That's the only reason why I'm doing this. Otherwise, you don't have to join, whatever. I mean, like, there's people in there. They can testify how cool that place is. Honestly. Okay, cool. $1 million. But yeah, that's my understanding. And that's the show, and that's what I'm looking at, and that's where I think all of this market is going to go and achieve. It's a bit of a long road, right? A bit of a long road, a bit of an understanding of what's going to be happening, but you need to see sometimes it's good to zoom out, right? And in the meantime, learn the market, learn the signals, learn the support levels, all that kind of stuff, all of it. And as weeks go by, I'm going to be doing more and more and more to give that amount of information where it'll get to a point where you'll be sitting there and telling me what's happening, telling me what's going on, telling me what where the market will going, and you won't be just listening to people who'll be pointing at something, going, "Oh my God, that's it, it's there we're going." Oh, you know what I mean? So you can look at it and go, "Nah, that's full of juice." There we go. Right? Okay. Any questions? Any questions? And we can have a bit more of a conversation about any topic. What topic should we talk about? What should we look at? I'll get the cold bites after. Lol. No Diddy. I'm not going to talk about Diddy. Where is he, by the way? I think is he still in prison? I thought he got out. Do I have to download the WAP app? No, not necessarily. No, you can do it on the desktop as well. It's a free section to it. It's juicy. Gus is actually like killing it in there, man. And there's also there's a free section with all the memes going on. The guy Lee is absolutely, oh my God, there was, what was it, a 4x the other day? Anyway, whatever. Do you think Bitcoin going down more? I think there's a chance that it will go down for more, for sure. I think there is a real chance, but that moment there could be a real buying opportunity. It's all the question mark right now is Iran and what's going to happen now. Do you close all your trades over the way? No. If I think that there is a an opportunity to sting and run, I mean, I'm in a short. I gave you guys when people in the Alpha Hunters group, it was a play-by-play what I was going to do if it crosses to what level, what I'm looking at, what's happening, what the situation is. I'm in the short at the moment in Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol. I'm in massive profits at the moment, absolutely humongous. So that's where I am, sitting there waiting to see where this goes on. What I will do overnight is I will put profit levels on my trades, and if it goes across there, it cuts it. What are your choice exchange for trading? MEXC and WEX. Those are the two. And the reason why it's the two for me is because Alpha Hunters Group is dealing with the European head of MEXC, and WEX is the same company as MEXC. Oh my God. I love how everyone just left after they got the alpha. Like, all right, bye. See you later. I will never talk to you again. I got everything I needed. Those are the ones I do. And also in WEX, we have a lot of leeway because they want to promote it. So we have a 50% in deposit bonus. So it's no brainer. And also KB's copy trading is starting this weekend, hopefully. And we can go from there. Any other questions you want? You guys want to talk about Iran? You want to talk about inflation? You want to talk about what other things you guys want to talk about? And we can go through there and have that understanding. I mean, look, I'll explain this to you as well. When you look at these markets, LMAO, no, lol, I don't. I'm at work and just signed up for some. Thank you so much, Eli. I appreciate it. But that's the situation of where we are, right? Are you guys liking this more succinct, quicker, more easy to understand, a drop of information, what that means to the markets, everything on that level? Is that something as a better way? And honestly, is there any other live stream that even comes close to what we're talking about? It is a joke. It is a joke. Anyway, look, what I will say is this. Going into the weekend, you're going to have to be careful, right? Because anything other than, what's your view on Bitcoin miners also having a side income as data centers? Yeah, it's a possibility. Yeah, there's a definite possibility to do so, because at this present moment, most are shifting their older processes to data processing, because the electricity costs at this present moment are not matching the value of Bitcoin as we see it, right? So the cost to mine a Bitcoin is higher than what the current value is, which usually can push the price up as well. That's another factor why we could see a potential move. No ribbons. Thank you so much. if conflict happens during the weekend. We expect there will be a reaction. I like the chat. You and KB had a lot of alpha in there. Yeah, because this is why I like KB so much. Other than him being a downright decent dude, right? I mean, there are very few in this industry. We trade differently but get to the same answers, which is crazy, right? Which is a good thing. We have a lot of experience between the two of us, and we're actual traders, like actual proper. We do it all the time. I do it more for fun than anything else, but and to get, I can't say that word. I live a frugal life. My wife on that. You know that meme where you're sitting there. I'm not gonna wrong. I mean, I'm very comfortable and all that kind of stuff. It's not a problem. But like, when you're sitting there and I'm looking at my sock with a hole in it, and she has like draped in, draped in Monaco on her, right? And I'm like, there's something really, there's something really wrong here. Yeah, I like to live modesty. I'm like, that's why trading helps me out on that side. But that's it, right? Okay. Now, one more cool thing for Alpha Hunters group, right? I am bringing something really interesting on board. It's a friend of mine has created in fact, I won't talk about it in there, but it's something to do with privacy. Something that will help you guys, it'll help you guys exit when you need to. It's a very cool thing that they've created. And I wanted to bring it to you guys because it's a really cool thing. And it's nothing for me that it's just genuinely a friend. That's it. All right, guys, absolute pleasure. I hope that was a good live for everyone. If anyone wants to rewatch it again, you guys can go on to the Alvarez.crypto tube, and it's all recorded there. You can go from there. To me, it seems very likely that Bitcoin pops, Bitcoin dominance will drop, and unexpected alt run. Yeah, I wouldn't say alt run, but I think Bitcoin could really. It's almost at a point where this thing could go crazy. I'm being serious, and you see everyone right now is talking negatively. It's over. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if there's something that I'm saying that actually has some weight, and from what I'm seeing and what I'm expecting, there's something going on here. Crazy good or bad? It's good. It's a very cool thing. It's just a privacy thing where, anyway, I can't say it on here, but I'll say it in the group so you guys can see when I drop it in there. Everything is so oversold and it's dead talk. Yeah, it's always the case. Usually when everyone's talking about it, it's too late. If Bitcoin runs up, dominance will run with it. It's the leader. Yeah. Something you need to look. You take Bitcoin dominance with a pinch of salt. I would say it's the third, like in the understanding, or in the third to fourth most important thing. You should look at it in a different manner, because sometimes Bitcoin dominance can be dropping, but that's because Bitcoin is dropping, right? It doesn't mean too much. It's the confluence factor. I would say, looking at key factors of total USDT dominance, Bitcoin, and various other factors that you do. Why do I hate you? Who said I don't hate anyone. I literally don't hate anyone. People just come in and say just rude stuff to me. What can I do? Yeah, that's what I would say. I look at those. I would say that, Mac. And to see this, to understand, very last thing for the people that stayed around, right? You need to see a market structure shift to understand the point of where, okay, yeah, it's happening now, right? It's very simple to understand. The moment that you see a full body candle close above the prior range, right? There are key prior ranges. There's one here. There's one that's even more important up here. There's even one that's even more important up here. It goes up and up and up and up, is where you would see what happens. What would happen if the US and the UK went? What would happen to the US what would happen to the US in the UK when conflict breaks out between nothing would happen to the US and the UK. US and the UK, or US in the UK? I don't quite understand what you mean, man. Can you, as in, no, I mean us. Oh, what would happen to us? Oh, right. Nothing's gonna happen. I mean, don't get me wrong. We'll probably support the USA right? We'll probably because they're our closest allies, even though they put tariffs on us constantly and get angry at us and shout at us and stuff like that. We're very close friends, obviously. That's what friends do, you know. Friends rates. You know that saying when you go to a place and it's like friends rates, but it actually ends up being more expensive than going there yourself. That's what America does to us. But that type of friend with America. But we will support them. We always do. Now, whether we would support them in a longer term, boots on the ground, I doubt it very much. People are laughing because they know exactly what I'm talking about. I doubt that very much. But I think they will support them with any type of either, planes and ships and all that kind of stuff. I don't see England going into a long, prolonged conflict for what I would describe as a very silly reason. It's silly what's happening right now. There's no real concrete reason to plunge the world into a lot of stress. But at the end, and I say this is the last thing I say, at the end of stress, especially in the market, is where you get the relief, and that relief can be life changing. Please remember that if that's the last thing you do. If everyone else, because I've been sitting on $8,000 waiting for another dip. Lamar, are you in the group? For a guy that I pretty much we've been doing the streaming since the beginning, right? Almost. Why are you not in a free group? It's free, Brev. I don't get it. I know Lamar doesn't like free because he's like, I pay for everything. Hey, my boys eat when we my boys eat when we go out, right? I don't get nothing free. And if it's free, I don't take it. I'm a man. Right? Men don't get things for free. We provide free. Right? I know where you're coming from, right? But yeah, that's what I would say. I think we're getting close to a longer term relief rally. When the Learn Channel Live will need to learn, it's coming. It's all of it. It's coming. It just takes a lot of time. There's a bit of growing pains that we're going through. Such even the copy trading. There's some there's so many, because we're working directly with Mexi and VX, so they've actually created this a level for us. I need to talk to him. He needs to talk to the IT department. The IT department needs to talk to that. And there's different time zones and stuff like that. So once we start settling in and going into that level, it will happen. I'm even going to have beginning sections where I'm going to be explaining really, really simple things. Where to find support levels. What is understanding as a quality support level. Simple strategies. Things like that. Things that people can start to dip their toes into understanding what's going on. Yeah? All right, guys, love, affection, all that kind of stuff. I hope this was an amazing live. I hope that my picture did not startle you when you came and actually saw me, because I've gained some weight. Thank you so much for explaining that to me. And yeah, we will go from there. By the way, that's the most important part of this life, just so that everyone understands that my picture now, it looks younger and thinner than I am right now. It's always good to be reminded of what I used to look like. It's so nice. Take care, guys. I appreciate it. And remember, follow, check out Alpha Hunters and all that kind of stuff, and jazz and everything else. All right, take care. Peace, love, affection, all that kind of stuff. Jeez. Honestly. All right, guys, on the tube as well. You guys are absolutely incredible. I'll catch you guys on the low side. On the weekend, most probably we will be doing a live with KB on X. So make sure you follow me there as well. And we'll see what goes on from there. All right, take care, guys. Appreciate it.